is a mustard seed, then nurture it, water it, grow it into that tree in your rainforest. We will be highlighting one of the prevalent social issues in our society. That we love and trust, and by people that are strangers. I am your addiction, that suction. I suck you in while you spill out your insides. I ask what is on your mind. I am that update, that tweet, that comment, that story. Your life seems to depend on me. As you awake, you reach for me. In the shower, I am close. I make your face-to-face conversations an endangered species. As your face is buried in me, I am Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. I invade your world, permeate your sphere. I will connect you on the virtual and virtually disconnect you from the real. I am. Where are the members of this committee? Have they been abducted by aliens? Aliens is code for social media. Whatever happened to going over the agenda of a meeting in hard copy, talking about the issues face to face, thrashing out stuff eyeball to eyeball? Let me tell you what's happening. Wale wants to Skype from Trinidad. Mr. Coca wants to FaceTime from California. Francis wants a WhatsApp video chat from Vancouver. And Mecca wants to Zoom meeting from Orlando. Whatever happened to sitting down next to each other and observing body language unaltered by technology? Virtual meetings are taking over. Human relationships are dying a slow death. We have a ton of virtual friends and no actual real friends. We belong to networks, communities, groups, all virtual. Did you know that spending more than 2 hours on social media can adversely affect your mood? You know what? This one got me, because we're all guilty of checking statuses on WhatsApp, checking how many likes our photos have gotten on Facebook and Instagram. Every 30 seconds, we're tweeting about the issues. That's the crux of our show today. Stay tuned. Welcome to Our Reality with Skye. On today's episode, we will be highlighting a prevalent societal issue, the cons of social media. And joining us in the studio today is Paitha, who is an artist by night and a digital marketer by day. Welcome.
Thanks for the invite, Skye. I feel really honored to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us a little about what you do.
Okay, so what we do basically is markets, but then we do it digitally. So
wow.
It's like an online avenue to market businesses, and that includes social media.
Okay.
And as part of it, they are a lot more involved in it. But then, regarding the discussion for today, let's just leave everything on social media.
Okay.
All right.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. So when you were saying, what do you do really when you say social media? Do you manage people's Instagram pages? What do you do? Just tell us a little bit about that, and then how much time you spend on social media.
Well, what we do for businesses on social media is, for companies that are finding it hard to manage their profile.
Right.
on social media, especially Instagram, which enables easy access for business to get to reach their consumers. Yeah, we manage their account, manage their profile, create content for them,
Nice.
and help them ensure that their business gets to reach their targeted audience. So, and that might include doing adverts and all those type of stuff. But there's a lot involved in it, so I'm not going to divulge.
Oh, well, we'd like to know. Okay, if you won't tell us that, tell us how many hours you spend on social media every day.
On the average, I spend about 15 hours.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Well, yeah. Well, like, I'm working. It's
Right.
work for me. So, and at the same time, it's fun, of
Fun.
course. But like, anything that's work is really not fun, so, for real. So I do it for work. It's not for fun.
Okay.
But then I catch fun when I'm doing it. So 15 hours might sound like too much, but like it doesn't really even. It's not. It doesn't. It even feels like it's not enough. But then what I'm doing there makes a lot of sense to me. So that's why I have to stay there, because that's my community. That's my hub.
But is
That's
it?
where I work. That's like my office. So
Okay.
if I tell you that I'm in the office working for 15 hours, you wouldn't fight me for that, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Because I'm doing my job. So
Right.
I'm on social media doing my job for 15 hours, and is that bad?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not. It's not. But you know, people talk about the cons of social media. You know, trolls, cyber bullying, scams, that sort of stuff. What do you have to say about that?
You know, I have to start with the fact that social media is relatively new to the human existence compared
Right.
to every other thing. Then it takes time for them to understand how this is work. It's alien to us, most especially.
Right.
So I can understand the quote unquote hate or the disregard for social media and other stuff. So, yeah, there are this negative stuff you mentioned, but then do we not experience these things with human beings too? Like you mentioned in your poem, that or was it in your poem? I think at the beginning of the show you said spending
A lot of time on social media. Yeah.
you said 2 hours of it?
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
With on social media can affect your mood. But like,
Adversely, yeah.
does dealing with humans for that amount of time not affect your mood as well?
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
And at the same time, anything can affect your mood for real. So it's your environment basically.
Right.
My point especially is that social media is not as bad as it
Right.
seems. I know I use it to my advantage.
Right.
Is any other person using it to their advantage? Are they just there to be spectators, or
Right.
they are contributing something to the
Right.
social media community?
Right.
When I'm on there, I'm working, and by that I mean that
You're being productive.
I'm being productive. I can't tell you that 100% of the time I'm productive. Really, there are times I just go there and catch phone too.
Right.
But then I go on social media. I check if to measure my metrics, because you have to calculate. You have to see the product of what you are doing on social media. Like I check my engagements, and by that I mean my likes, the comments, on Twitter, the retweets, the shares, and so on and so forth, and basically the engagement.
Right.
And I use that to measure the productivity of what I put on there.
Right.
So if I'm managing somebody's business now, if I'm managing somebody's business account on social media, these are the things I use to value to weigh my results rather.
Right.
So that makes sense to me. I can understand that social media could make you less productive if you really don't have anything to do there. If you are going there for fun, just do what you have to do. Give yourself a short period of time and just get off the internet. And it could also it has its own effect. But don't let me digress. Let's just get to the
Right. So our viewers at home, Pytha is making us understand that social media can be really exciting. He's painting an amazing picture for me and for you. We'll let you ponder all he said, and we'll be right back. All right, earlier you said that you painted a beautiful photo of social media. You make it seem like this is work for you, and then, while you're working, you're having fun. So obviously there's, you know how to balance social media. You know how to balance stuff. Tell us about trolls. Our viewers, trolls are people who go on sites, online communities, and premeditatedly incite or instigate people. So they say stuff that will rub you the wrong way. So let Pytha tell us what he thinks about trolls and, the adverse effects on our lives.
Okay, first of all, you said I obviously know how to balance it. I won't tell you that I know how to balance it. I can't assure you of that. But then back to the topic, which is to talk about trolls. They're who they are. Like I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain somebody's. It's a behavior. I wouldn't even say it's just. Trolls don't even know they are trolls sometimes. Sometimes intentionally go on. Sometimes people intentionally go on there. There's time to catch crews and everybody just laughs at that. But then they go on and just begin saying insensitive stuff or using insensitive stuff as jokes.
Right.
And I can understand what the other person at the end of the funnel might be feeling, but I don't take them seriously. Trolls are trolls. I don't even have the time to be focusing on what trolls are saying. I might be going through comments and laughing, but I never really had got trolled. And even if I did get trolled, I don't think I would really pay attention to them. I see them as the tout of the social media community, as compared to tout in real life. So if you know that this person doesn't deserve your time or your attention, why would you rather be answering them? You are not becoming the fool, because you can never fool a fool. And for reasons like this, I would advise that there should be like age limit or maturity like metric to make people access some certain social media platforms. Like in my own opinion, I feel like Facebook is for anybody. Like Facebook, how like for shows you go for concerts and there's like regular, there's VIP and there's VVIP.
Right.
And if I want to liken that to social media, I would say Facebook is like regular. I don't know if this might offend anybody, but like that's my truth. It's open to
being criticized.
Criticized now.
Right.
Then Instagram is the VIP, and then Twitter, which is the VVIP. So I would say if you're not smart enough now, what happens on Facebook? The quality of stuff there is just regular day stuff and basic. There are old people there. There are very young people, and so you wouldn't expect some certain things from there. Then Instagram, you see like pictures. Some people post almost half naked stuff, and if you're not mature enough, you shouldn't be there.
You say that. I feel, because you said that, the Facebook was, every day, Instagram VIP, and then Twitter VVIP. I personally feel that Facebook is for the realer folk.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instagram is now more for people who, because before I put a photo on, initially I just did Facebook. And so, because I'm a very real person,
I'll just
Instagram yes, you have to do that, because and I even find myself sometimes going back to my IG page and deleting some photos because you see stuff on the explore page and you're like, what, Then I find Twitter for people who just really are cerebral and want to talk. Well, I see your point where you're saying the demographic is, I think the Gen X are more Facebook, and then Instagram is more, a lot more contemporary, and then the much younger millennials are doing, yes. So I'm right when I say that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. We've talked about trolls, and then let's talk about hacking, because that's a major demerit of social media. And for our viewers, when we say hacking, we're saying when people can access your personal information illegally. So let Pytha tell us what he thinks about that as a con of social media.
Well, if that happens, I wouldn't blame. The developers of these platforms have done their part by making it private enough for you, making you create passwords, and making everything still go back to your mail so that you can do anything. And there's something they call two-factor authentication. So without your authorization, nobody can have access to your account. You must have given out some information before somebody can have access. So you must have been careless in some sort of way before this could happen. And if you want to talk about cyber fraud, all these things happen, and this happens in real life too. So we can't necessarily blame social media for things that we still have fault from our end for.
Okay. I was talking to somebody who he was enlightening me about the deep dark web. He says it's a different kind of web for people who are techie, more professional people. It's not the www that we know. And he's saying that as long as you have a laptop or a computer, people can access whatever information is on there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's really crazy, and it was very scary for me. In fact, talking to him, I was like, you know what? Am I sure I'm in good hands with this person? So, what about distractions for social media?
Distraction, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I won't even argue that. Like, there's something they call executive dysfunction.
Okay.
And by executive dysfunction, it means that if you have the chance, you can read further on it. Like, you lose some core part of you. Like, you become disorganized. You can't even manage your time well. You can't plan your things well. You just want to, your plan is to do this thing, and then you just don't know. By one way or the other, and I'm talking about in relation to social media, and one way or the other, you just grab the phone and check this thing. You don't even know what you're looking for there. It's not as if you have anything to go do there.
I think that has a lot to do with fear of being left out. Right?
Sometimes you don't even you don't know these things.
Okay.
It just happens unconsciously. It's because you're used to it, and that's when addiction comes in. So, and part of this thing, the traits that comes with that could be executive dysfunction. You become so disorganized.
Right.
You can't even plan your time. Right? You miss appointments. You can't even organize things in your life as they ought to be.
Right.
And that's the thing, and that's why you have to manage it. You have to find time to balance everything. No matter how good anything is, you have to still always find time to, just take breaks. You should take break from social media, whether it's for work or anything. There should be time where you just take a break from it. So,
as the professional, how much? Let's put a time to the break. Let's make it more, a dosage. How much time are we talking? So if I spend 10 to 15 hours, how much break do you recommend?
Well, during the weekend, I don't do anything at all with social media. I try not to do anything with social media at all. Right. So I focus on other stuff.
Right.
Still on the internet, but just so that you can build yourself up from there. You can build yourself on other things rather than just being on social media, because it's work. I work to the end of Friday, so and I'm not working on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, so I should do something else. The 48 hours I have should not be time spent entirely on social media.
Nice.
And that's just it.
Nice.
That's how you could deal with it.
So I like that. I like that he's telling us that he takes time away from social media, even though it's his work. So for those of us that are not working directly with social media, imagine that. We should take breaks away from that. Ponder that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Pytha is in the studio with us, and he's making us see the merits of social media. We started with the show by talking about the demerits, and then he's making it seem like we can balance stuff out. So if we do stuff in moderation, we'll be okay regarding social media. What other words or pearls of wisdom do you have for us regarding social media? Because it's a whole different take to the show now. I love it.
Okay. Well, firstly, it exposes me to brand new community, like a different community of and I see the way people handle things, and that way that inspires me to do something. Like I get inspiration from there. Basically, one.
Okay.
Also, it's I could make friends, and you don't know what might happen from there.
Have you made any real friend? You know, somebody that you met on social media and then the person turned out to be amazing. Because I have a story for you. I know a friend who met a guy. She was looking for love. I don't believe, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I didn't believe that it was possible for her to actually find love. And she's married to this guy, and she's happily married to this guy. And she found him on Facebook. So do you have any of such stories?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. But then it remains there. We just keep the distance, but we know we're friends, and we could share ideas and stuff like that, and that's it.
Okay.
Also, I could. It gives you room to market yourself, your business, what you do.
Right.
Since the entire day, why social media is a good marketing tool is because the entire world is there now. Like that's the new way.
Yeah, everyone is selling on Instagram.
In fact, that's what's cool now.
Everyone is selling on Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being on social media is the cool thing. Since it's the cool thing, everybody wants to identify with it. Everybody's on there, and that's an avenue for you to market yourself, showcase what you do to the world. The entire world is there, so they can see you. They can see what, rather than just being in your small community and trying. How many persons can you market to? How many persons can you walk to market whatever you do?
Okay.
How many offices can you enter? So social media is the easiest avenue for that. What else? That's a few amongst what I can remember right now. But then there are a lot more involved. I mean, it could serve as cushion to life problems. You know, there are times when you're just so down and like real life is not funny, and you know things are not really. But
the entertainment there,
you just have to cool, blow up some steam sometimes. You know, that's just it. And that's. I feel like social media is not as bad as it's painted if you know how to manage it.
Nice. Very well said. So all you're saying is that social media is not all bad. Yeah, so I'm seeing that, and what I'm hearing corely is that you feel like there should be moderation.
Yeah.
Yes, and so you have to know when to take time out, and then disconnect from social media for a while.
Yes.
I appreciate all that. We're excited that you came on the show. Your pearls of wisdom have been amazing. We've learned a lot. Thank you for coming on the show.
I feel like Solomon already. Yeah, nice being given this opportunity to come just express myself, and I'm really glad to be here too. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So our viewers, today that's our show. I hope you walk away knowing that social media is not all bad. Moderation is key. Thank you.